Hi guys, how you all doing? Today I'm going to be showing you my GTX 480 Sli gaming setup, and yet I haven't made a video for about 10 months now, so hopefully I'll make it up with this one. September 2018 is when I'm filming this, September the 10th or something, I don't even know what date it is. I'm going to start with explaining why I've done this. Firstly, it's because I wanted to see if I could fit two GTX 480s in a Micro-atx case, which I know some Micro-atx cases you can, but I tried to do it in a thermal take versus H15. As you can see, there's a lot of clearance between the power supply and the graphics card. There's 4 expansion slots on this case, so I thought let's see if we can fill them all up as they're there. As you can see, it's powered by 2 PSUs, one of them being jumped to get it started, and it works fine, which I'll show you in a minute. I'll go over the specs of the PC. We have a thermal tape versus H15 Windows version. The power supplies is a Corsair CX500 and the Cooler Master G750M. So the PCIe cables go under the case here, through the gap there, and go to this card here. So it lets me put the side panel on, and I can just close the system to stop dust getting in. Although saying that I do keep the side panel off because of temperature issues. So the motherboard, P8Z77M Pro by Asus. Processor is an i7-3770, with the cooler being a Be Quiet Pure Rock Slim, which is really good cooler. It's inaudible. It's got one of the lowest RPM fans as well on the market, I think. So the RAM, it's Corsair Vengeance Pro Silver. It's supposed to be a kit of 4, so this is 2 of 4 8GB sticks, clocked at 1866 MHz CL9 at the normal 1.5 volts. The voltage isn't overclocked, which is really good. Doesn't make sense. They haven't bumped up the voltage at all. It's just normal standard 1.5 volts to save power here and there, even though it won't make that much of a difference with these two beasts in the system. Talking about these beasts, let's have a look. The top card is an EVGA superclocked GTX 480 at 1.088 volts it uses, compared to the standard 1.05, I think. It's clocked at 725 MHz and the memory at 1900 MHz. The bottom card is an Asus GTX 480 at the standard clocks for 480 at 700 MHz and 1849 MHz. No overclocks on the voltage. So that's the graphics card. The Sli bridge I'm using is an Asus Sli bridge ribbon cable. The SSD is just a Kingston 120GB SSD now V300. Hard drive, a Western Digital 1TB store all my games. I think that's about it. I think I mentioned the power supply. This power supply, yeah, just powering the bottom card here with these 2 cables. This power supply is powering the rest of the system, including this graphics card. Let's show you how to turn the PC on with 2 power supplies. And I'll show you the BIOS and the settings I'm using, because I have got a slight CPU overclock, believe it or not. So you press the power button and the switch on the secondary power supply at the same time. That didn't blow up, it's a good start. This is the Asus BIOS. It's got an advanced mode. I'll show you the setup I've got. Firstly, the overclock tuner is an x.m.p mode, so the memory is overclocked PCIe configuration. 8 times the bandwidth on each slot, so 8 lanes even. And I've set them manually to Gen 2 because that's what I know they are. Just for peace of mind, I'm setting it to Gen 2, just in case it happens to set it to Gen 1 by accident. Let's exit. I'll save changes to clarify I've got them applied, which that didn't make sense. Loading into Windows 10, and I've got a couple of games to try and a benchmark, so let's try that. Let's put MSI Afterburner on. Obviously the master card is a top card, so it's going to automatically set the voltage above the normal voltage, and it's going to automatically overclock. So the bottom card will also have that overclock applied. And the first thing we're going to try is these 3 games here. Not a huge selection, but I think GTA 5 scales really well, and I've just got to show you that. Just Cause 2 does as well. Unfortunately, Just Cause 3, which I'd love to have SLI support, they've skipped out on SLI support. Not sure why. The same with Fortnite, that really doesn't work with SLI. reset that. So I'll keep clicking reset like every 2 seconds, I'm sorry. So here's Heaven Valley. If I just do an extreme preset, then you can compare it against your results then. So I'll just do extreme. This should, yeah, there's the SLI indicator. This should work, hopefully. Yeah, the speakers are behind the PC, so you get a judgment of the sound of the cards to the speakers, that sort of thing. So, in fact, let's start the benchmark, just so I can give you a default score on these overclock settings, these factory overclock settings even. So it scales quite well on the first scene, I noticed, but then the scaling goes down a bit. But I did before, seems pretty good. Okay, doesn't matter, forget what I just said. Let's enjoy the benchmark. Facts. So that's the temperature. Can't really hear the cards at the moment. So I'm just going to pause it for 1 second. Okay, so that's the benchmark. This is the score, yeah. So you can compare it to your system if you want. But that's what 2 GTX 480s at these clocks score. So I'm going to personally save that. Or whatever. I want the fans. I'll leave that running a bit. Look at the temperatures now. Uh-oh. This room is warming up quite a lot. I'm going to swap the game now. Well, I'm going to change the application. Looks very hot. This one will be hottest. Okay, that's that's Valley benchmark. So let's go on to Just Cause 2, which scales quite well. Yes. In fact, I've shown you the temperatures on stock fan curves. So let's ramp it up to 100. Prepare your ears. Both fans. These are the settings. Let's just do that. Let's have a look what to do. Decent scaling, as you can see on the left. Nice smooth gameplay, not really any stutters. Let's see what damage we can do. They're not any grenades. Oh, forget it. Oh, give it up back. Get it. Oh, this game. I'm gonna have to admit I'm used to an Xbox controller. Oh, please just give me this revolver. Thank you. Damn it, and now they go and drop these weapons. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm going to reset the fans again and start GTA 5. This is the best game that I think scales with SLI, and I could play this all day like this. Apart from the thought in my back of my mind how much electricity I'm using. Oh no. Okay, so the fans are on the normal default curve now, so they'll get louder. Basically, you'll hear them in a minute. So here's the sound in the background, so you can compare the sound of the fans to the game. Do you know what? What should we do? Blow up. Put it in the back. There we go.
Hey Trace, what's up?
What's up? Are you joking? You ruined my life.
Should have taken this call. Too busy blowing up random cars in the street. Oh no. Oops. Come on, Michael. Just a comment about the scaling for this game. Both graphics cards, mid-90s utilisation, like the whole time. Oh, fans. starting to catch my attention now. How do you change view? Oh, there. Yeah. Oh. Whoa. Dead. I'm dead. Okay, so that brings the video to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed making it, and I hope you got something out of it, really, to be honest. So please leave a comment below on what you liked about it and what could improve. That would really help. And please leave a like if you like the video, dislike it if you dislike the video, and hopefully, in fact, also consider subscribing if you like the content, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next video.